All right, gentlemen, I hope everybody is having a good day. We are here on our power rankings for patch 8.0, and we are also going to get into our siege tier list as well. So that will fall different than the power rankings, but how the power rankings work is there is going to be 3 metrics: ranged, melee, and survivability, and there will be no double values in these metrics. This is literally each class pit against each other. So if the sniper has a range damage of 9, no other class will have that same range damage, and this is overall how I have everything falling for patch 8.0. Now, there was really only one big switch up when it came to the actual power ranking numbers, and that was the survivability of the sniper and the heavy. Those two got switched, and the reason they got switched was the sniper got Emperor's Grace, and it works with lingering concealment now, and that really helped his survivability take an uptick. Now, basically, I had these two tied before, so I put the heavy in front of the sniper, but with Emperor's Grace, I feel like the sniper barely beats the heavy when it comes to overall survivability, because the heavy survivability is honestly amazing. It's just you have to understand the Vanguard and the Bulwark are so good that it's really only a conversation between the sniper and the heavy, because the Bulwark and the Vanguard are literally healing their health. So that was the only real main change when it came to the power rankings. And when we have our range damage, it's going to be heavy, sniper, tactical. When we're looking at our melee damage, it's going to be the assault, the Bulwark, and then the Vanguard. And then overall survivability, as we were just talking about, is going to be the Bulwark, the Vanguard, and then the sniper and the heavy. Anybody who has the heavy at 8 and the sniper at 7, honestly, for survivability, I wouldn't argue. That's really how close it is. They are both really, really good. And then for the Bulwark and Vanguard, the Bulwark's going to beat the Vanguard, even though the Vanguard probably has that, better healing overall now with that team perk of 30%. But the Bulwark has the shield, and he has a lot more capabilities of really surviving overall, even not counting healing himself. So that is why he is definitely 10 in my book. And from here, we're going to go straight into our tier list for our siege. This is obviously if you're grouping up with actual teammates, and the number one teammate you're going to want if you're not playing the Vanguard is you're going to want a Vanguard, and it is due to Unmatched Zell. So if you're not taking the team perk that gives you 30% for every extremist kill, you will no longer be an S tier perk. That is the only reason that you're peaking up here. I'm not saying your ranged and melee are bad, but that's king. That is why you're up here. You're talking over probably 3,000% health for you and your entire team if you're pushing into the teens and the waves, because you're going to kill over 100 extremists, and 100 extremists is literally 3,000% for you and your entire team, which is an ungodly amount of hit points. So that is why I couldn't see putting anybody above a Vanguard that had Unmatched Zell and the 30% healing from extremists. And then next up on the list is going to be the two top damage dealers really in the mode. They can keep themselves alive. They don't need much help at all. And that is really why they are landing in my A tier list right here. So I do have the heavy slightly sitting above the sniper even when it comes to A tier, and the reason is I feel like they both help their group out of tremendously dealing with like high priority targets and things like that. But the heavy, he does it, and he does not use a cloak, so obviously he is still holding aggro. He is doing a lot more than the sniper is kind of doing for the team, because the team, when the sniper is going cloaked, now the other two teammates are literally taking most of the aggro. So that is why still I have the heavy sitting above the sniper, but both of these are very good. They're going to give you great survivability overall throughout, and then they're going to give you a massive amount of damage as well. And then when we are looking at our B tier classes here, we have the Bulwark and the Tactical, and they're literally here for opposite reasons. So the Bulwark is here because, and honestly, I have these two about tied, so they're just both in B tier for me. So the Bulwark, amazing survivability. He can help his teammate with a lot of support, but the main problem is his damage. His damage is very, very low, and he's not his range damage. With his range damage being that low, it becomes extremely hard to survive even at the higher waves with the Bulwark, due to the fact that there is so many things on the map, so many extremist enemies, and your time to kill just really isn't fast enough. So that's his main thing, is his time to kill is pretty slow. But like I said, his survivability and his overall team support is really, really good. But I could not put him above the sniper or the tactical, or not, I mean sniper and the tactical, sniper and the heavy. And then when it's coming to the tactical, he is sitting in the B tier because of the exact opposite reason. He has great damage and great time to kills a lot of the time, but his overall survivability is really, really bad. If the tactical does not have a Vanguard in the group, it becomes extremely hard for him to run siege, just due to the fact that he is not regaining any of his health back. He's really going to have to rely on avoiding as much chip damage as possible. And I don't know, I think the Melta, it really works best for him for surviving later rounds, but then you do lose the boss damage. So, you know, that is just a caveat that you're going to have to decide on yourself if that is worth taking or not. And then when we're getting into our C tier character, I'm sure nobody's surprised here, it is going to be the Assault. So you're going to have amazing melee damage, of course, as you always do. Top in the game for sure. Your range damage is just not good. And then your survivability is even under the tacticals by a good amount. And it's mostly because of your weapons. You really have no good way, an efficient way of refilling your contested health, even if you are trying to stack range damage reduction on you, stack everything you can to make it to where you can survive later on. It's just not working very well with the Assault. The only way you're pushing past like wave 15 with the Assault is if you are, you know, the top like 3% of players. It's really that hard. So if you're pushing that far with the Assault, you know, don't really hate on him being in C tier. Just you're a really good player, buddy, because like he is very hard to push high waves because of his overall damage reduction is not enough. You can't get to your melee attacks fast enough to deal enough damage. You're really gonna have to rely on ground pounds and either that or your dash. You know, your dash build. So I found it very difficult to run all of the higher waves with the Assault. The higher waves with these two characters, they're with these two classes, they are not that hard. The Bulwark is going to benefit the most if he has probably like a heavy and a sniper in his group, because they're going to do a ton amount of damage, and then he could really focus in on just taking care of the groundwork. And for a tactical, he is 100% going to want a Vanguard in his group. If the tactical gets his hands on a Vanguard, that is when his tiers kind of scoops up, because then he's actually got some survivability and he's got really good damage overall, and he's got his scans, so he's a very good class. It's just his survivability for siege and those high waves is extremely hard to deal with. And then for the A tiers, once again here, you know, heavy and the sniper, they are doing amazing things out there. And when it comes to deleting high priority targets, nobody does it faster than these two right here. And you already know the map is just filled with high priority targets. And then, as I said before, we finish it out right here on top with our S tier Vanguard, and it is all due to the fact of Unmatched Zell. So make sure you are taking that perk, and then you will remain right here on the S tier class. And I do find you to be the most helpful overall to the group when it comes to Siege.